Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to introduce you about the Sun Tzu in the 310 to 220 BC. As you can see, this article is about the Chinese philosophy. In here, we can see Sun Tzu, the book, the name of Sun Tzu. The meaning of Sun Tzu is the master Sun Tzu, because Sun Tzu, along with the Confucius and Mencius, was one of the three greatly early in the of Confucius philosophy. In many ways, he offered a more complete and sophisticated defense of the Confucius than Mencius. Sun Tzu lived toward the end of the Warring State period in the 1453 221 BC, generally regarded as the formative era for the later in the Chinese philosophy. And we can see here the text in the Sun Tzu, human nature, and also the ritual music, and also the heaven, the way and heaven, and we discover the way. It is we talk about the Sun Tzu because the mind, the heart. So today I'm going to introduce you with main point, the way and heaven, logic and language, social and politics, those. And we talk about the life and work. Sun Tzu Master Sun is the common application for the philosopher whose full name was Sun Quan. He is also known as Sun Tzu, Minister Sun. After office he was born in the state of Shire in the north central Chinese around 1310 BC. As young man, he studied in the state of Qi in the northeast, which had integrated congregation of the philosophy for ages. Sun Tzu writing showed him to be well acquainted with all the doctrine occurring at the time, which the probably came in contact with the during this period of his life. We talk about the way and heaven. In most important concept in Sun Tzu philosophy is the way, Tao. This is one of the most common terms of Chinese philosophy, though all thinkers define it somewhat differently. In Sun Tzu, is it on heaven because he departed regardless from the idea of Confucius and Mencius. In fact, he refused the doctrine of the mandate of heaven by saying that heaven does not care about human, but heaven of human is not more than the nature world. It has normal will. Its activities are entirely and unrelated to the human activity, because those who pray for the rain, for example, are wasting their time. Those who believe that comes and other extraordinary nature even indicate heaven displeasure with those in the power of our furnace. Only the says he say with the departing iron, act without the seeking to understand the heaven. And we talk about the human nature education and ethical idea. And human nature is, as mentioned, is known for the slow. Human nature is good. Sun Tzu is known for its opposite. Human nature is bad. Because a person is prone with the feeling of envy and hate. If he given way to them, that will lead him to violence in crime. And any sense of the loyalty and good faith will be adopted. And makes argue that human nature is good. Understand human nature as the intendence to an idea, a state that expected to be formed under the right in the condition. Therefore, human has the capacity to be good even though they are not good. And we talk about the Sun Tzu human nature is bad because Sun Tzu is known for his belief that ritual and crucial from the reforming humanity original nature because human nature lack an intact moral compass and left to itself fall into consension and disorder with his ways. Sun's character human nature as the ritual is thus an uh, integral part of the established in the society. We talk about the education. Education is like the Confucius and mentioned Sun Tzu is much more concerned with what kind of the person to be than with rule of moral behavior or duty. And in this respect, this view similar to Western virtue ethic. And the important in the mentioned saying in the Sun Tzu say, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, invoke me and I learn. It is important. Learning parents, inspiring learnership, experience, inspiration, student related to education teaching and education, love teaching. Teacher and student, teacher student, inspiring education, best education is aspirational. Teacher parents and teacher children, learning inspiration, learning teach good. Because it is important to love of learning, never stop. Learning children, education, ethic, teaching student, learning student and education, good education. It is to improve our education in our life. And we talk about the ethic idea. Sun Tzu often distinguishes three states of the progress in study, in the scholar, the gentleman and the sage, though sometimes the sage and gentleman seem to be equivalent from him. The goal of Sun Tzu ethic is to become a person who knows and acts according to the way, as if it were second nature, because human nature is bad. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of study to learn the way. And we talk about the discover the way. The way is not the way of heaven, nor the way of earth. It is what people regard as the way, what the noble man is guided by. This seems to say, despite what we have seen about the appraising the constraint of heaven and then applied in the properly to daily life, that we are supposed to discover the way of heaven and create our own way instead. The basic problem is that the survived text of Sun Tzu is voiced enough to permit the various is, uh, but the respect reference to the importance of observing and approaching, responding to the season or scene to rule out the inspiration that nature uh, is not to be taken the normative. We talk about the heart. The heart is being of two heart. Being of two heart was a common problem in the Chinese philosophy written. In many respects, that heart mind is the key stone of Sun Tzu philosophy. The one that the line together all the others. The Chinese word sin means heart, but Sun Tzu attributes such a strong and hurt mental process to his organ that one has to construct is not only the heart but also the mind. The first, the first we talk about the heart, mind is the organ that we use to discover the way. We talk about the logic and language. One subject that was greatly not part of Sun Tzu program of studying is logic. In the particularly the Mosi school where they developed sophisticated view on the logic and the principle of argumentation around in the Sunsi time, and other thinkers were known for their uh, paradoxes that playing with the language to show its limit. Though Sonsi was the adoptly influenced by the principle of arguments developed by the Mostu, he had not patience from the dedication came and this passion for his own sake that were popular at the time. And we talk about the social and politics though. In the government structure, the warring state period during which Sun Tzu lived was a time of great social change and stability. The warring state period during which the Sun Tzu lived was a time of great social change and stability as the name implies. It was the period of disunity when several different states were warring, when each other determined who would gain control of all of science and found a new dynasty. We talk about the ritual and music. Ritual and music is the fantasy in the big keeper of the world. It is integral to harmony and it is the requiring fundamental of human emotion. Sunzi is known for his belief that in the ritual is crucial for the reforming in the humanity original nature. Human nature, like an innate moral compass, and left to itself for into the contents and discover, which is why Sunzi character human nature is bad, because ritual is thus an integral part of established in the society. We talk about the moral. The moral and power. Moral power is probably best when it's not used. The less you use it, the more you have. He is thus the with the virtue people soon see this distinguishes different level of the rule, because this concept of moral power was quite older in science even in the Sun Tzu time. Though immediately in the refer to the power came from the spirit, though sacrifice being with the Confucius is become the ethical into the kind of power or creations that anyone who cultivates the virtue and follow the way develop. And also the moral power a king could rule effective without the having to personally attend to the day-to-day and business of the government. The following his example, the people would become virtuous as well, so crime would be minimal, and the rule of and also the subordinate could carry out the necessary in uh, 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 the rule to state. We talk about the Sun Tzu most famous dictum is that the nature of man is evil, is goodness, is one according trying. What Sun Tzu praises was thus essential philosophy of culture. Human nature is birthed in the maintain, consists of instinctual drive which left to themselves are selfish, uh, anxious, and antisocial. And also, this is the first complete one volume, an English translate of the ancient Chinese text. Sun Tzu, one of the most extensive, sophisticated, and elegant the word in the tradition of Confucius those. And we talk about the difference between the belief of Mencius and those of Sun Tzu. Mencius and Sun Tzu on human nature, the concept of the moral autonomy in the earth. Early, human nature as mentioned is known for the also human nature is good. Sun Tzu is known for its opposite, human nature is bad, because mentioned here self-cultivation as developed nature tendencies with us, because he required that of people were good by nature, there would be no need for the ritual and social hormone. And we talk about primary importance in the process are the ceremony and ritual, practice rules of the social behavior, traditional more, and music we soon see like the Plato, regarded as having a profound moral significance. Thank you.